Good evening, everyone. For NewsFlash, I'm your anchor, Brittany.
Hey. And I'm Keely. And because you were trying to decide how to respond to your boss pulling an Elon and asking you what you did this week without getting fired, we spent the week gathering the local, national, and world news that you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is NewsFlash. Our top story tonight, surprise, it's not political yet. We'll get to it, don't worry. Yes, the Oscars were last night, and boo-hoo-hoo, Sean's not here to talk about it because you already got your fill of a loud, annoying ginger. Yeah. Besides, Hulu's feed cutting out for multiple people right before they announce the best actress, the biggest news seems to be that some people, aka annoying people on Reddit, are trying to pit Anora's Mikey Madison's best actress win against Demi Moore for The Substance, as proof that a young up-and-coming actress is being favored over an older actress who's supposedly past her prime, or, to put another way, literally the plot of The Substance. Maybe there's some truth to this, but also she's still Demi freaking Moore.
Yes.
So these people need to get outside and touch some green stuff. And I don't mean The Substance. Clearly, people found something captivating about a brash, independent entrepreneur trying to take advantage of a Russian gangster and instead getting caught up in a web of crime.
Damn. Well, Anora did wound up being the big winner in general, also taking home Best Picture, Director, Original Screenplay. We got Editing, tying the director, who is Sean Baker, in second place of all time for the most Oscars won in a single night. So yeah, you know, guys named Sean can stop acting like they're underdogs. Hey. I did not write this. It also does mean that Netflix's big bet, Amelia Perez, went from huge buzz as the fourth most nominated film ever to getting a little bit of backlash, which ultimately winning only 2 Oscars. Only 2, you guys. So Zoe Saldana for supporting actress and original song, and that song of course roughly translates to "Stop looking up my old tweets." But let's be honest, the songs this year couldn't have been that good if they got bumped from the telecast in favor of a bunch of songs from James Bond and The Wiz. They didn't even let Timmy Chalamet sing any Bob Dylan songs, and he was dressed perfectly for a rendition of Mr. Tambo Urine Man.
Also, despite threats from announcer Nick Offerman, Adrien Brody went way too long in his acceptance speech for Best Actor. 4 minutes past the 45-second cutoff, much like his nominated film, The Brutalist Actor's speech went so long that they gave it an intermission. Brody mentioned wanting to prove his worthiness to continue playing important and relevant roles in a possible tribute to his most notable role over 20 years ago, the Rastaman character who introduced musical guest Sean Paul on Saturday Night Live, infamous for his overly long improvised intro, fake dreads, and terrible patois. When asked about the discrepancy between him being allowed to speak for so long when others were played off abruptly, past winner Halle Berry said, "At least he wasn't kissing me this time. I kissed him." She doesn't sound like that.
And speaking of toxic masculinity, you know how your mom always told you to be polite when you have company over and like, don't be rude, don't insult them, or maybe insinuated that it's their own fault that their neighbor is trying to invade them? Basic rules, right? Well, apparently the convicted felon in the White House didn't listen to his mama. Well, apparently the convicted, about a lot of things though, probably. Or maybe though his mom was also terrible. Let's be honest though, she probably wasn't great either, but in the spirit of Women's History Month, let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she did the best she could. She had 5 kids, not all of them are gonna be perfect. Nobody expects their baby to become the most disgusting man in the world except maybe this one. But in any case, I'm just glad to know that all of Europe rightly thinks that our president is Putin's sugar baby now. And also those tariffs on Canada and Mexico are set to start up again tomorrow. So all in all, Brittany, really just a fun time to be alive.
So happy to be here.
Fun.
All right, well, in other World War II adjacent news, a precinct delegate for Ottawa County named Ryan Anderson made some pretty blatantly pro-Nazi statements on his Facebook. That's Ryan Anderson of Chester Township, all right? And that's not doxing, because he apparently proudly confirmed his posts for reporters on WZZM, including the lie that the Holocaust didn't happen and that Hitler was, quote, one of the true heroes of history. Some other history heroes of Ryan's presumably include Saddam Hussein, Pol Pot, and the guy who doesn't wipe down gym equipment after sweating all over it. I used to work at a gym. They're the worst. This dude thinks he's cute, quoting General Patton and a debunked Red Cross report to support his BS, like he's submitting an essay the day of the deadline and scrambling to find a source other than Wikipedia. To be fair, the Ottawa County Republican Party was quick to condemn Anderson's post, stating that these statements are not only abhorrent and historically false, but also wholly inconsistent with the beliefs and values of the Republican Party. Obviously, instead of posting them on his personal social media, he should have shared them in a political rally.
Amen. Dang it.
Okay.
There we go. In other local news, a Fremont family that went missing back in 2022 is finally revealing what they believe to be the cause of the father's psychotic break that led them to being found safe in a Wisconsin hotel 600 miles from home. If you remember the story, there was a weird 911 call. It was a family of 5. Their grandma was still home, kind of a wild story. But the patriarch of the home claims that his episode was brought on by a prolonged use of raw organic honey that turned out to be tainted by brain-altering neurotoxins from plants, which is otherwise known as mad honey. And I do have to say that this makes me question the craze of restaurants using hot honey. Thank you. And aren't we glad that RFK is getting rid of FDA employees who might be able to protect us from tainted honey? No, look at my face. My mouth is uncomfortable. I'm trying to move it. Well, on the bright side, though, the story just provided the filmmakers behind the Winnie the Pooh horror movie with another storyline, so that'll be great.
A judge from Genesee County District Court has proposed an unconventional punishment to deter shoplifters from stealing from the local Walmart. Court-mandated parking lot car washes. Inspired by noting nearly 50 retail thefts on his docket in just one day, he decided that those sticky fingers just needed a good washing. He's even offering to help wash the cars himself, which greatly reduced the potential interest from any pervs hoping for a sexy car wash.
And let's just face it right now, the economy sucks, and besides increased grocery prices and losing their jobs thanks to Doge and that doofus hacking away at federal agencies with his dumb little chainsaw, now jobless Grand Rapidians will have to travel just a little bit further away to get their benefits that they deserve and they earned. I could go into it, but anyway, starting today, the Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency offices are temporarily moving from Plainfield and 3 Mile because of some renovations. So staff will now be located at the Department of Health and Human Services building on MLK Junior Street and Jefferson. So now, instead of being in a place you don't want to be on Plainfield, you can be somewhere you don't want to be, but a little bit closer to downtown.
Colombian police caught a man who was attempting to smuggle several bags of cocaine underneath his toupee. Talk about cocaine hair. Get it? Like Cocaine Bear? How quickly we forget the classics. Honestly, this guy would have been better off just pouring the coke on his scalp and claiming it was dandruff.
And scientists say that the threat of a newly discovered asteroid, it's called YR4, has risen slightly, but it's still unlikely, don't worry, to collide with Earth in 2032. So we've got a little bit of time. But to that I say, why not? Honestly, dying by asteroid in 7 years was like pretty much the main point of my retirement plan.
Yeah,
so.
that sounds really nice. All right, so Hooters is making plans to file for bankruptcy. Hey, me too, said the middle-aged men that regularly go to Hooters. But their wings are pretty good, said not enough people, apparently. And said the actual Hooters employees, looks like I just gotta marry a Russian mobster sugar daddy, just like my award-winning inspiration, Donald J. Trump.